Hi everyone, this is Bill, back with another well-worn hiker video. Now today's video is going to be unlike any video that I've done before, because today we're going to take this, these, this, and this, plus a few other odds and ends, and we're going to build a backpacker's tripod. I hope. Every video I shoot here in my home, whether it's in the breakfast room or on the deck, in the back porch, or here in my garage, I shoot using a tripod. But when I hike, when I shoot videos while hiking, I always use a chest mount and a combination action camera gimbal for those shots as I'm hiking. I carry other small cameras with me to take other shots. But if I want to be on a shot, if I want to introduce a trail or the park where we're hiking, or if I want to give some historical background, I have to depend upon one of the guys that I hike with to serve as cameraman, so to speak. But there are times that I'm hiking by myself, or there are times that I'm lagging behind the guys I'm hiking with, because I do hike slower than they do, plus I stop and I shoot a lot of video and take photos along the way. So I find myself alone. And I think it would be really nice to have a tripod. Now I've looked for a compact, ultralight, full-size tripod online, and while I can find two of the three, it's really hard to find all three of the things in the price range that I'm looking at. So I decided I would put one together from the things that I already use, namely trekking poles. So today we're going to take Cascade Mountain trekking poles. This one is a carbon fiber. I've been using this for the last 3 years. I bought a couple of aluminum ones that are identical, also from Cascade Mountain Tech, and that way I know a little bit about how they go together, but more importantly, I know how they come apart. And then I wanted a really lightweight tabletop tripod, and I found this little guy right here, and it's called a Hoopar. It's really lightweight, and there's a reason for it, because it is really thin material. I'm not sure how it's going to stand up, but it weighs 0.8 of a pound, so I think it's what we need. Then I'll show you how we're going to put these things together, so stick around. We start off first by taking things apart. Okay, the first thing we do is we have to disassemble the pole. So I've made it a little easier because I've taken the bottom two sections off. These Cascade Mountain Tech poles, this end cap comes out pretty easily, but there is a pin that goes through here. You kind of have to get to it, drive the pin out and pull it out, and that's what we're going to do now. To say we need to disassemble the pole is a bit of an overstatement. Actually, all we have to do is to remove the end cap from each pole. The end cap is that piece on the top of each pole that the wrist strap is attached to. The grips are ergonomic, meaning there's a front where your fingers wrap around and a back where the strap is attached. To find the pin on the back of each pole, measure down about 7/16 of an inch from where the end cap and the cork grip meet. Then you must remove the cork that covers the pin. For this task, I use a small hobby knife. The cork cuts easily, but is sort of self-healing, so I wind up cutting it away in pieces. Once the cork is cut away and the pin is revealed, take a small punch and begin to drive the pin out. I don't have a punch that's small enough, so I simply use a nail in its place. As the pin is being pushed out, the cork on the opposite side of the handle begins to bulge. Once again, I take my hobby knife and cut away the cork from that side. Once the pin is pushed slightly out of the handle, I take a pair of pliers and pull it the rest of the way out. Okay, we've got the end caps out of the three tripod pieces. Next thing we're going to do is we have to disassemble this. I hoped that that the outside leg here would be small enough to fit into the tube at the top of the pole, but unfortunately it is not. So we're going to have to replace this part of the leg. It's pretty easy to do. We're going to be using a wooden dowel. But first I'm going to get the bottom pieces off. Okay, I've cut my 3 sections of dowel. They're about 7.5 inches long, just about 2 or 3 inches longer than the ones that were in there. Now I'm going to put the end cap on. I'm going to drill a small pilot hole here. I'm going to reattach them with these little screws. I may come back later on and put a little epoxy on it just to make sure they're held in there nice and tight. But right now that will work. On to the next one. And now the last one. Once I've got everything fitting, I'll take it back apart, put some glue in here, paint these. Right now we're just kind of doing a dry fit to make sure it all works. We're going to start off first by putting this through the new leg through this mount right here through this brace. And so we're going to. Oh, and we're going to have to do a little bit of work on this one. Now when I do a test fit with these new legs, because they weren't supposed to go all the way through, I've got a little plastic lip right there. So we're going to take a drill tool, we're going to grind that lip away. Alright, there we go. So now, we'll take each leg, stick into the brace. And we have okay, we've got all the pieces made. Here is the small tripod with the replacement legs. I've got a camera setting on it. And I'm not going to make this where I have to attach it because gravity will take place, or will take care of that. So we slide that down into one pole. Slide this one down into the next. And we slide that one into there. And we'll pull back and let you see what it looks like. And so there you have a backpacker's tripod made with 2 of the trekking poles that I always hike with. I'll carry 1 extra trekking pole. It'll be easily done and not much extra weight. One of the things that I like about this is you can adjust the height of the various trekking poles to allow for uneven ground that you're on. And there you see I've got 2 legs on the deck, 1 leg off. And because the poles have got markings on them, you can make sure that you've got the poles at the same height, the same distance off the ground. So overall, I'm pretty pleased with it. We'll see how it goes this weekend at Guadalupe Mountains National Park. Well, as you can see, it works as intended. Well, at least on my back deck, it works as intended. But it also works on the trail, as I discovered when I took it with me to the Guadalupe Mountains National Park. I did discover one thing that I needed to change. But I also haven't shown you yet how I reattach the end caps to the trekking poles. Now, if you recall, earlier in the video, I showed you that there's a pin that's driven through the trekking pole and through this end cap that has to be taken out. And because it's a press fit, you're not able to use it again. So I had to come up with a way to make it easy to get a pin back in and out as well. And so I looked for something slightly smaller, and what I came up with was simply a drywall nail. It's the right length, and all I had to do was to round off the end slightly. It fits right into the pole, right into the hole on the back of the trekking pole. Slides in there, and then you can't pull it out. Now I put something over to keep it in place, and I made rubber bands with an old bicycle inner tube, and I simply pull that band up over the head of the pin. And it stays in. I don't have to worry about losing it. Now I did discover though, I did also discover that in cold weather, this rubber band is kind of hard to get a hold of. So I also carry around now a piece of two-sided Velcro, and I'm able to simply put that Velcro around where the pin goes in and attach it. And it really works real well. So it might be one of these things that I'll be taking this with me in winter months, and then using the rubber strap in the summer months. Now I realized when I took everything with me to the Guadalupe Mountains that I needed to have a way to attach the small tripod to the 3 poles. As I'd mentioned, I initially was going to simply let the weight of the tripod and camera hold it in place, and it worked fine that way. But if I wanted to move the tripod to another location, then you had to take the poles back off, move to where you wanted, reset the poles. So I thought it would really be nice if we could attach the poles somewhere. So I decided to use the same thing to attach the poles to the tripod that I attached the end cap to the poles, and that's simply this little pin. I drilled some holes here, as you can see, in these legs. So I'm able to take the tripod, remove the cap, and I insert the tripod into, I insert the tripod leg into the trekking pole, and then I simply push the pin in, and it's good to go. So I can do that on all 3 legs. I don't have to worry about holding it in place, because I think that it's going to, it'll be fine, because it doesn't just fall out. You have to get your fingernails under the head of the nail and pull it out. Although I will be taking an extra pin with me when I do this. Don't worry about putting the elastic band back up over it, or the Velcro strip, although you could if you wanted to. So there you see what I think is the finished product here. I'll be taking this with me on my next big hike and using it to shoot video. If you have any questions, please post them in the comments below. If you have some ideas on how this might be improved, post those below, because I'd like to know what you've come up with. Well, thanks for watching. My name is Bill, and I am the Well-Worn Hiker.